What's going on, YouTube? Another sunny Saturday. I forgot to check, but temperatures are probably up in the upper 80s. I don't think it's up in the 90s yet. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the neighbors down the street are having a nice big party. They've got a couple of inflatable jumpers and a bunch of kids screaming. Let's see. Anything interesting? Ooh, an ACLU poster. Ugh, just what I need. And a birthday card from my daughter Shelby. From my Aunt Tricia. Thanks, Aunt Pat. And Uncle Don. I know it's Pat that sent it though. My wife and I just got back from an excursion. I guess you could call it a date. We went out and spent a little money. Well, how about this one? There we go. Maybe better. I got some tools. I got some cool tools. I managed to find at an antique store. We like to go antiquing. I found a couple of distant hand saws. This is a ripping saw, fine tooth. It's probably about 12 teeth per inch, maybe less, maybe, I don't know, how much less than that. This one here is another distant. I don't think this one's the original handle though, because the medallion actually sits proud, doesn't sit flush. I hope that's the distant blade. I can't see the maker's mark on it down towards the heel or on the main body of it. But it looks like it's in decent shape. This one's got a little bit of rust. It's going to have to spend some time in the vinegar. Teeth are in good shape. Doesn't have heavy pitting on the teeth. This looks like a cross-cut saw the way the teeth are filed. This one's probably, I think, 8-10 teeth per inch. And then this one definitely a real distant handle. Tell by the weeding. This might be a real one, but it might be a later model one where they were not doing as much detailed work on it. This one, I'm assuming, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research, but I think it's probably from the 20s or 30s. Possibility. Because of the profile and the wheat. This one does have some heavy pitting on it, but it isn't a distant. I got this one. This one's a EC or CC Atkins and Company. Does have CO down here at the bottom on the tail. This one I got because of the handle. Can you see that? Nice detailed relief on the handle. Looks like a nice saw. This one is a cross-cut saw. Picked up a couple of planes too. You probably knew I would. This one's a good heavy one. This is a number 5. This is, can you see that? Bailey. And number 5. I don't know if you saw that or not. It's going to take some work. It's got a lot of rust on it. I don't think it's been abused, but it hasn't been very well taken care of either. A lot of sawdust down in there. Doesn't look like it's been removed in a long time. You know where that's going. Vinegar. It's got chipping on the handle. Looks like it's been dropped a couple of times, but it's been there for a long time and it's been used since then. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the that handle or with the front handle either. I know what the name of this is. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. This is a good heavy one though. It's got a little bit of pitting in the sole, but it should clean up. Blade is nasty. Blade's been exposed. Out too far for too long. Hit a couple of times. A couple of chips on the front. This one, I haven't been able to find a name for it. Price tag still on it. I did not get it for the price that they have on here, which was 60 bucks. I got it for quite a lot less. I've been knowing these folks at the antique store for a lot of years. And they're going out of business. They're getting older, the husband's health is failing, and they just can't maintain it anymore. And if I had the money, I would buy them out and the business out and continue it on, because it needs to be continued on. They got a bunch of stuff. This one is a lighter bodied plane, but I don't know what the name of it is. But it needs some cleaning up as well. Let's see if I can retract that blade a little bit. A little bit too far out there. Oh, it's tight. It's not real far back. Oh, I see what the problem is. The cross pin on the depth adjuster right in here, I don't know if you can see that or not, it's bent. So that's going to have to be bent back. So that forces the blade farther forward than it needs to be. So what I'll do for the time being, because it's going to have to be cleaned up and sharpened, I'll pull that blade back just a little bit, just a hair, keep it from coming in contact with anything and tearing up. It looks like it's in fairly decent shape, but if anybody knows the maker that had this pattern on the cap plate, or top plate, whatever you want to call it, several people call it different things. It's cast iron, but if you know the maker that used that pattern, I'd like to know. There we go, that sets it back a lot farther, that way I'm not going to damage it. This one does not have the side-to-side adjustment like the Bailey's does. Okay, and it doesn't have the frog adjuster. Let's try that again. See, it's got a fixed frog. Okay. Now, I know that Stanley had a scrubbing plane that was really basic, that didn't have an adjustable frog and didn't have the left and right. So this may be a Stanley scrubbing plane, but it's not a 44. I don't think it's a 44. The 44 was a yeah, this has got to be a scrubbing plane, but I don't know. The throat is huge, but it's not symmetrical. It looks like it's wider at one end than it is at the other. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research, find out what I can on it. Might shoot Paul Sellers a an email, see what he has to say about it. Don't be impressed. I don't know Paul Sellers personally. This will be the first email I sent him. So that's about it for tools. My wife has an idea for our daughter's wedding. I really like the relief on that. A few nice saws. He had a bunch of saws, but some of them I didn't know, so I didn't even want to take a chance on. This one's been painted on one side, but if you turn it over, let's come over here. You can see it's wood. It's been stained. Been beat up a little bit, but it's got character. Get out of the sun. Nice knob on it. Put you down. Quit being such a pain. Now I just gotta figure out where I'm gonna put these jokers. The idea my wife has is to put them up in 3-panel. Kind of like a 3-sided box, or part of an octagon or whatever, with the glass one in the middle. This is the glass one. Got some nice detail to it. Just got to figure out where I'm going to put everything. Like the knob. Well, the knob's not there, but plate for it. And then we have this one. It's not as old as the other two. Probably not as contemporary. Probably that might be plywood. In fact, I believe that is plywood. Yeah, plywood. But they are solid wood doors. With figured mortise and tenons, which I figured they would be. Yeah. So that's not toe molding or anything that's been put in there, or figured molding that's actually in this panel, this part right here. So I don't know when that was. That might have been probably 60s when they started using plywood in the doors. I don't know. Could be a school district door. Don't know. Would love to know the history of these things, but most of that information is long gone. But I like architectural antiques. Always interesting, especially when you're trying to figure out what it is and where it came from and who owned it, and if it came from a house or if it came from a government building, or just interesting. So that is what we have been doing today. Not much. I want to have some projects. I need any more projects. Definitely needed the saws. The saws I can clean up and put to work. Always loved new tools. The planes, I can put those to work. I've been needing number 5 plane. And I finally have one. Now where I'm going to put all this stuff. Sawdog, you're right. I don't need any more stuff. I'm running out of room quickly. So, that's it for me. Nothing really else special going on. Just like collecting more junk, more stuff. Trying to squeak out as much of the weekend as I possibly can. Trying to stay cool. Not real easy. But if you're new here, thank you. Appreciate having you. And yes, that is a Mercure XR4 Ti back there in the corner if you're wondering. It is available. Call me at 555-BR49. BR45. Something like that. And if you wouldn't mind, if you like this, give me a thumbs up and punch that little red button right there. You know, do it on the 4th and fireworks will go off. If you like this video, if you've seen any of my others, you might want to check this one out. It's picked just for you by YouTube using magic mice. And this one's my most recent, not the XR4 Ti, but the video right there. So, until next time, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.